Hello everyone, welcome on in. We're back. Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. We're on the second game, nearing the end. Last episode, we finally finished off that tutorial. Oh my god, sometimes the tutorials are so long. Sometimes they're like super short. Like the first tutorial case in the original game, the first game, in Phoenix Great Ace Attorney, was very short. You could do that case in like 50 minutes. This one took like 4 hours. I hope the rest of the episodes are long, because I'm not ready to let this game go yet. And that's right, we're flashing back now to the previous case. Let's see how it goes. And this will be my last stream this week. I'll be back Sunday or Monday night, but no stream tomorrow or Saturday. It was 6 months ago. A mysterious incident that unfolded on the wintry streets of London. Yeah. A young woman was found lying on the snowy pavement of Briar Road with a knife in her back. The game tutorials are quite brutal, yeah. Fortunately, her life was spared, but she was unconscious for several days following the incident. The fog was thick and nobody saw her attacker, but by a cruel twist of fate, a visiting Japanese student was walking behind her at the time and was duly arrested. That man was Sosuke-san, and the man who effected his arrest was Mr. Sholmes. Believing in our compatriot's innocence, Suzato-san and I decided to represent Sosuke-san in court. And after a grueling trial of many twists and turns, we finally managed to prove his innocence. Joyful, joyous, jubilant jubilation, was the man's reaction after the trial. But his jubilant jubilation was short-lived, because apparently there was another case. Gasp. We received a telegram from Mr. Sholmes the following morning. The victim of the Briar Road stabbing has regained consciousness. Hurry to Bart's at once. So Suzato-san and I summoned a hansom and headed immediately to the hospital. 21st February, 5:30 a.m. St. Bartholomew's Hospital Recovery Ward. There you are at last. Good morning, Mr. Sholmes. This is a very, dingy recovery ward. I think not. Okay. Oh, Suzato! I missed you. You're late. What on earth took you so long? Your telegram only arrived at 5 o'clock, Mr. Sholmes, and it's a 20-minute ride to the hospital. That's right, and it's 5:30 now. I think we made very good time. The truth is utterly irrelevant. The fact is I have been waiting for what has felt like an eternity. Real. In point of fact, I myself was woken at 4 this morning by a telegram boy. And feeling it was somewhat unjust that I alone had been rused at such an hour, I sent one to you. Well, thanks for that. Anyway, you're here now, so... And the victim is over there. She's only just regained consciousness. Oh, okay, it's actually the woman from the case. I was curious if it was gonna be. You should introduce yourselves, and I shall observe from here. So that's the lady who was found on the snow-covered pavement with a knife in her back. Her name is... Ah yes, here we are. Miss Green. There's a... Oh no. There we go. I was like, look at my controller. This rounded wooden figure isn't the most charming, is it? I don't think that's a decoration, Mr. Naruhodo. It's an artist's mannequin, I believed, used when practicing sketching the human form in different poses. Nice. Really? It's... Okay! Okay! Rinosuke? Okay, you can't say that. That's rude. Really? It's not exactly what you'd call a typical figure for that purpose, though, is it? You shut up, Rinosuke. No, I suppose not. Suzato, no! I confess I've never seen one quite so full-figured before. Well, if you want to draw a full-figured person, it's the right tool for the job, yeah. Guys. Shame on them. Shame. Look, there's a photograph in this frame here. Okay. Oh yes, it's a picture of a young gentleman. He looks to be about the same age as Miss Green, I would say. Okay. Perhaps the young woman's special someone, do you think? maybe? My, Mr. Naruhodo. I didn't know you had a sense for the matters of the heart. Oh, he does, alright. Not in the least. I sincerely said the first thing I thought of. Don't you ever bring that romance stuff around me again. Eek! A mouse, Mr. Naruhodo. An enormous mouse. Yeah, it's huge. Vermin in a hospital? That doesn't seem the best. But it looks like a very healthy specimen, doesn't it? It's very plump. I'm not sure we can say that's down to the excellence of this facility, if that's what you were thinking. Okay. This looks like the treatment notes for whoever's occupying this bed. Let's see. Do not permit to run around the hospital. The patient doesn't seem to be here at the moment, so he's probably running around the hospital. He or she is probably running around the hospital then. Oh dear, how worrying. What's worrying is why they haven't discharged the patient yet. This looks like the patient's treatment notes. Let's see. Do not feed. What is this place, a zoo? You know, I seem to remember seeing an almost identical sign in our local park. That's so sad. For the pigeons, yes. This is a person. Poor woman. I hope she hasn't read this. Aww. Good morning. Oh, she's so sad. Hello, I'm Renosuke Naruhodo from the Empire of Japan. Oh, no. Was it your knife that... Are you the man who... No, I'm a lawyer. And I'm Suzato Mikatoba. Pleased to meet you. So did they tell her that Sosuke-san, was the one that stabbed her still? Even though this would be after the trial. So we'd know that it was from the apartment building. Oh no, was it your knife then? Are you the one? No, I assure you, I'm Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant. We heard that you'd regained consciousness and wanted to come to give you our best wishes. Best wishes? For me? Thank you. I'm Olive Green. Nice. I'm an artist. Well, no, that's not right, is it? What I mean is, I'm trying to be an artist. Well, what I really mean is I desperately want to be an artist. But the truth is, I don't have any talent. I know I don't. It's no wonder I was stabbed in the back. Oh, I don't think that's related, actually. Gosh, this young woman seems to bend over backwards to put herself down. Seeing as we're here, we should ask her about what happened from her perspective, I suppose. To suddenly be struck in the back by a blade as you were walking along the pavement. What a terrible experience you had, Miss Green. It was so cold that day, and the fog was so thick, I couldn't see a thing. That was 4 days ago now, I think. Is that right? Yes, that's right. I'm afraid you've been comatose all that time. The case has been solved, hasn't it? While I've been here in the hospital, I mean. Oh, I forgot he was here. Indeed it has, my dear madam. Spectacularly by none other than I, Herlock Sholmes. Mr. Sholmes, as you well know, it was Mr. Naruhodo's hard work in court that solved the case. Thank you. Thank you, Suzato. Finally, an assistant on my side. Are you yet to hear what happened, Miss Green.
Yes, I'm afraid so. A gentleman from the police force is supposed to be coming to fill me in shortly.
Okay, so nobody told her.
Oh, I see. Me coming round seems to have made everyone frantically busy. I'm so sorry. I should never have regained consciousness. It was selfish of me.
Oh no, she's relatable. Oh no.
Oh no, we're all so relieved that you're on the mend, Miss Green. We are.
With that kind of attitude, maybe her surname should be Blue, not Green. So, you're an artist, are you, Miss Green?
Oh, no, I couldn't possibly claim that. I'm a fledgling artist at best. I mean, I'm a student of art, really, at the Thorndike Academy of Fine Arts. Oh my, an Academy of Fine Arts? Great Britain is such a wonderful country.
How old is she? She's 20. An art school student whose ambition is to become an artist. She's just regained consciousness, having been comatose for days after suffering a stab wound to the back. Tell me, Miss Green, do you live hereabouts?
Oh no, actually, I don't deserve it, but I have a little flat on Brixton Road.
I see. How very interesting.
Oh no, it isn't.
Brixton is some 10 shops away from, on the underground from here. And Thorndike Academy is a mere 3-minute walk from Brixton Town Centre. Does that matter, Mr. Sholmes? Perhaps not. But Briar Road is a far less salubrious part of town by comparison, dwelt in by those of inferior means. Oh, what was she doing walking it? Including the maleficent Mr. Mustache. Inferior means? I suppose Suski-san does fit the bill. It struck me as somewhat out of the ordinary for a young fine arts student to be walking in such a district. That's all. What's this? She suddenly clammed up.
Mr. Sholmes, you should be ashamed of yourself, prying into a young maiden's private affairs.
Oh dear me, do forgive me.
If you don't mind. I'm being discharged shortly, so I need to pack up my things.
Oh yes, of course. We won't keep you. Thank you so much, Miss Green. Oh, Mr. Narrow Fodder here. Mr. Narrow Fodder. Narrow Fodder. Now. Well, if you're looking for Naruhodo, the lawyer, that's me, but... Oh, Mr. Narrow Fodder. Good. This is for you. It's a message from Mr. Saucy Nutsmeg. Saucy Nutsmeg. Mr. Nutsmeg sent a message to me?
But why would a policeman be delivering a message from Mr. Natsume?
Exactly. What's going on? What's a Scotland Yard constable doing playing delivery boy at this time in the morning? What are you waiting for? Let me see that. Oh. Okay, fine. It's not for you, is it? Well, this is most unexpected. Is something wrong, Mr. Sholmes? Is something wrong, Mr. Sholmes, he says. Have you not seen this note? I love Herlock Sholmes. No, how could I have? It would seem that London's criminals have no intention of letting the great detective rest. A new case calls. A case of murder, no less. We must depart at once, of course.
Murder?
Call a cab. Time is of the essence. But why don't you call a cab? But the trouble is, we've yet to read Mr. Natsume's note. I was thinking we ought to pay him a visit in his lodgings once we did. That will be entirely convenient.
Convenient? What do you mean?
It's all here in the note, my dear fellows. The murder we must investigate took place at Mr. Moustache's lodgings. Oh no.
Wait, what? I'll hail a Fiars at once.
A Fiaker. I don't know how to say that.
At once.
It was only yesterday the Sasuke-san was in court and we were dispelling doubts about his innocence. And now the very next day, there's a murder at the man's own address? He may very well be the unluckiest man alive. Or so it seemed to us at the time. But we were soon to discover it was worse than we thought, dude. Imagine he's actually guilty. They let him go off to Japan. That's why it's a case we must not speak about. 21st February, 7:18 a.m. Mr. Natsume's lodgings, ground floor. Oh. What on earth?
Oh my! The gentleman is deceased without question.
He's dead, thanks, Susato. Locum student, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. Mr. Natsume. Oh, why? Why is this happening? Why to me? I've only just got out of court yesterday. I was finally home after 2 days of misery. And then I wake up the next day to this. No early bird should catch a worm like this. Woeful worm without a wiggle. I see you're in high spirits again this morning, Mr. Mustache. That was such a good animation. Not the horrible hairlock, Sholmes. Shoo, shove off, show yourself to the door. I never invited you.
Mr. Sholmes came here with us. I'm quite sure he'll be able to help you, Mr. Natsume.
I am entirely at your disposal, Mr. Mustache. What can I do for you? Here they are, already. The busybodies. Oh, Inspector Gregson. What a pleasant surprise. Pleasant, is it? It gives me heartburn every time I see your face at a crime scene, Sholmes. Huh. I deduce, Inspector, that your heartburn was a result of your excessive consumption of fried food. Good morning, Inspector. This is a crime scene. Don't you go touching anything. Or good morning to you too, sunshine. So who's gonna be arrested as the culprit? Oi, I said hands off. You're gonna mess up my crime scene. No, I just wanted to look, that's all. No chance. I know your kind. You'll mess it up just by looking at it. That's rude. Ugh, someone's in a bad mood. There's certainly some bad air in here, isn't there? Alright, it sounds like I'd better talk to the inspector first and try to curry some favor. Okay. What a terrible thing to have happened. It's only been 3 days since I was arrested for the incident on the pavement outside. And then, having finally regained my freedom, it starts happening all over again. Endless existence of excruciating experiences. So the victim lived here on the ground floor and your room is just 1 story up, is it? Yes, that's right. In a way, we were neighbors, I suppose. So did you know the victim? Were you friends? Something tells me the answer is no. What's the matter with Sosuke-san now? It was an innocent enough question, wasn't it? Why does he seem so shaken by it? Well, I suppose he was a complete stranger. But did he ever invite me to his room? Never! On my honor, I swear it.
What an extreme reaction. You're probably wishing you'd never asked now, aren't you, Mr. Naruhodo?
When we found him here, I felt wretched, which is why I sent word asking you to come. Through that inspector over there. So, Inspector, what was the victim's name? Who was he? Mr. Willie... No! Not William Shakespeare. Mr. William Shakespeare. He was a lodger here. As you could probably tell, he was an actor. A bit of a dead loss as it happens. Or just dead. Most important question of the whole duology. Are you team spade or team shovel? Oh, good question. I think currently as it stands, I haven't been swayed much in either direction, but I think currently I'm team shovel. What about you? That opinion could change. That opinion could change.
Mr. Shakespeare.
We are destined to be mortal enemies then. Let's go. We will fight on. Our battle will last eons. It was the landlord, or Mr. Geradev and the other lodger, Mr. Natsume, who found him. The fella didn't rise at his usual hour, so Geradev got word and kicked the door down. But doesn't Mr. Geradev have a bad leg? Oh yeah, you're right there. It was that jittery Japanese hunchback over there who actually did the kicking. Really? Sasuke-san? The victim was pretty hard up, it seems. Even done some time inside for petty crimes. Really? He had no money, no place to go, and no friends. His only acquaintances were the people in this house. Miserable life, and a miserable end to it. So, what exactly is Mr. Natsume still doing? He's not involved in the investigation, so shouldn't you have sent him away from the crime scene? Well, I'm not saying it's because the fella looks odd or anything, or that he acts suspicious. Well, I thought it'd be prudent to take a statement from the cohabit. No, Miss Sasuke. They're not gonna arrest him again. You nearly said culprit there, didn't you?
Oh dear. Mr. Natsume appears to be under suspicion again.
It certainly seems that way. He does just come across as such an odd fellow, doesn't he?
Oh man, how unfortunate.
And well, I can't say much until the coroner gets here. I don't think the fellow's been gone that long. The body's still warm. Even if the inspector would allow it, I don't think I could bring myself to touch a dead body. Okay. Oh! Was he? He was not always there. No. Was he? What is he doing? Mr. Sholmes? What are you doing? Huh. You need only observe to know it, my dear fellow. Investigating, naturally. There's nothing natural about that pose.
Mr. Sholmes, have you made some miraculous discovery?
Patience, my dear madam, patience. We've not been here in this room 5 minutes. So far, all I managed to deduce is what actually happened. Oh, is that it? Is that it so far?
My goodness. But isn't that everything we need to know, Mr. Sholmes?
Now that you propose the idea, I believe one could indeed see it that way. At the present time, I have managed to draw two incontrovertible conclusions. The first, that there was a physical struggle here last night in which the victim fought for his life. Jump scare. Mr. Natsume, what's wrong? Is something that Mr. Sholmes said significant somehow? No. Don't mind me. Forget I was here. Dude, stop being suspicious. And my second conclusion is that there was a poison lingering in the air here last night that passed the victim's lips. Nonsense! Alright, Mr. Natsume, why are you reacting so extremely to Mr. Sholmes' deductions? No, please, pretend I'm not here. Invisible, ineffable, inscrutable, insignificant. Impossible to ignore.
You must tell us everything, Mr. Sholmes. Spare no detail.
I have a feeling that Sasuke and Mr. William Shamspeare were more than just acquaintances. But of course, let that theatrical tragedy before us be unraveled by my great deductions, presented for your pleasure in 2 acts. We've heard some truly astounding great deductions from Mr. Sholmes in the past. No doubt this will be no exception. What miracles will unfold before our eyes this time? So, my dear fellows, for your delight and wonder, let the curtain rise. For Herlock Sholmes' Logic and Reasoning Spectacular, Act 1. The Great Deduction. Let's go. Topic 1, Cause of Death. The careful observations of the victim reveals to us the events that transpired in the disconsolate room last night. Foam at the mouth of the deceased clearly indicates the use of poison. Next to the victim, we notice a large dining plate which contains, you'll observe, 1/2 of a sizable bar of soap. What? Why was he eating soap? Meaningful, indubitably. Why is the soap set so purposely upon the dish? Like the victim's last supper, in fact. Yes. Oh, okay. But, okay. Could it be that the man was about to eat it? Of course! The fork reveals the answer. Okay. It appears that the young man's appetite was his undoing. Taking up arms in the form of his cutlery, the victim engaged in a deadly battle for his life. Yet the struggle against this hunger was in vain, for in the end he couldn't resist devouring the slippery feast. But London's foul soap is besmirched by foul poison. Yes, the victim's life was claimed by poison that tainted the contents of the plate. The soap and the leather about the young man's mouth are too perfectly matched to ignore. The cause of death was clearly intoxication due to excessive ingestion of foul soap. Okay. Though personally I have a greater interest in the taste of foul candle wax, of course. Maybe he got too hungry. He was starving. All that he had was soap. Poisoning from soap ingestion. What a way to go. Oh, suicide or murder. The cause of death identified, we proceed to Act 2, where we ponder the next question. Was this suicide or murder? Oh. No, Sasuke, no. The audience will recall that the death occurred during the victim's last supper. Did the man dine and die alone? This single teacup reveals the answer. To draw a conclusion on such meager evidence would be foolish, however, certainly. The careful criminal could have absconded with his own cup to cover his tracks. Well, allow me to lift the veil of doubt, my dear fellow. Indeed, what reveals the answer, of course, is the broken lock. Though forced open now, at the time of the incident, this door was locked. And the sole key was in the victim's pocket. In other words, when the victim consumed the poison, he must have been alone. Alone with his inferior soap, from whence wafted an inferior scent. And with that acrid aroma lingering in the air, the victim met his end in tragic solitude. What a deduction! What a deduction! We could take comfort only in the fact that his soul was well cleansed on its way to the hereafter. No possible perpetrator present. Sholmes is the best detective. There is no fault in his theories ever. Thus concludes the final act of Herlock Sholmes's great deduction. Uh-huh. There's just one thing, Mr. Sholmes. Just one. You are disposed to identifying just one thing, aren't you, Mr. Naruhodo? Pray, what concerns you? Well, no matter how hungry he was, do you really think the man would have eaten soap? Why not, you know? It is quite apparent that this man had barely a penny to his name. It is a curious thing, but to one so destitute, soap can appear quite irresistibly appetizing. He's definitely eaten soap before.
How extraordinary.
In truth. Yep. Yep, I knew it. In truth, I have tried a little soap myself in the past. You've eaten it, you mean? My dear fellow, it was some time ago now. My postulation was that it would cleanse my gut. He would.
And did it?
As I writhed in agony on the floor and spilt the contents of my stomach, yes, I believe it did. He hasn't eaten candles, though. The experience taught me a valuable lesson. Soap is quite poisonous. That's how we learned. It has an unpleasant taste and leads to a great discomfort. In summary, I cannot recommend it. Okay, thanks. I was gonna go eat soap after this, but he doesn't recommend it, so... Believe me, I wouldn't even eat it, even if you did. Ugh.
There's something that troubles me as well, actually.
Oh, what's that?
It's Mr. Natsume.
Yeah, he's got a lot going on, I noticed.
I couldn't help noticing him shuddering and quivering out of the corner of my eye.
Really? Only out of the corner of your eye. Only.
Almost as if Mr. Sholmes's deductions touched a nerve somehow.
Nonsense. Oh. Well, that clenched teeth episode didn't last.
I think, judging by Mr. Natsume's reaction, the great detective's deductions may need some gentle corrections in order to reach the actual truth.
Yes, Mr. Sholmes's observations and deductions are sometimes a little too sharp. He has a tendency to hit the nail on the side of the head that drives it in at an obtuse angle. When he does that, it falls up to us to straighten things out. Alright then, let's see what we can do.
Yes, we must pick out the keywords in Mr. Sholmes's quite brilliant deductions. This is our tutorial for this. And discreetly exchange them for something that makes a little more sense. If we can do that, I'm sure we'll arrive at what Mr. Sholmes meant to say in the first place.
In that case, are you ready for our second performance of the day? Once again, my dear fellows, for your continued delight and wonder, let the curtain rise. For Sherlock Holmes' logic and reasoning spectacular. Act 1. Yeah! Renosuke. Hold it, Mr. Shelms. Cute. Careful observation of the victim reveals to us the events that transpired in this disconsolate room last night. Foam in the mouth of the deceased clearly indicates the use of poison. And next to the victim, we notice a large dining plate which contains, you will observe, 1/2 of a sizable bar of soap. Meaningful, indubitably. Why is the soap set so purposefully upon the dish, like the victim's last supper, in fact? Yes. Could it be that the man was about to eat it? Of course, the fork reveals the answer. Well, you can't deny that a fork implies the man was eating something or about to eat something.
Yes, that's true. If I were to decide to eat some soap, I would prefer to use a fork than to attempt it with chopsticks.
She's definitely debated eating soap. And of course, only half of the bar of soap is left on the plate.
But might there not be some other explanation? Something material that proves whether or not the man really ate some soap?
Oh. The other piece of soap. Oops.
Take that!
Could it be that the man was about to eat it? Of course. The other piece of soap reveals the answer. It being the other half of the soap on the table. In short, the victim was not eating soap at all. In fact, that throws my entire deduction out the window now. But it's obvious, really. For no depths of hunger could drive any man to attempt to eat soap. Yeah, obviously. Who would even think about that? Even I, with my unquenchable thirst for practical knowledge, took only a single bite. He is the soap dealer. But that begs the question of how the man was poisoned, because there's no sign of any food on the table. Ah, but there's a teacup. An excellent observation, Mr. Naruhodo, and one that furnishes us with the answer we seek. For London's foul soap is besmirched by foul poison. Yes, the victim's life was claimed by poison that tainted the contents of the plate. Mr. Sholmes is still pushing the soap argument then. It's his pre-written deduction, Naruhodo.
Perhaps he's suggesting the man lick the soap rather than eat it.
If soap in London is that poisonous, I don't think I want to be washing my hands with it. But there are no signs of any food in this room at all.
Of course, food isn't the only thing that passes people's lips, is it?
Yeah, it's the teacup.
Take that!
Yes, the victim's life was claimed by poison that tainted the teacup. Indeed, cups have been the vessel of choice for practicing poisoners over the centuries. And it would appear that this victim drank every last drop. There's no sign of food anywhere in the room. Which leads us to the immutable conclusion. The cause of death was clearly intoxication due to the ingestion of poison contained in this teacup. Why is there soap on the table to begin with? I'm very excited to find that out. We did it! Poison by tea! Alright, and then it's gonna change from suicide to murder now. The cause of death identified, we proceed to Act 2, where we ponder the next question. Was this suicide or murder? The audience will recall that death occurred during the victim's last supper. Did the man dine and dine alone? A single teacup suggests the answer. The Western vessel for infused hot drinks again. It's already featured heavily in our deductions so far.
Yes, we can imagine that shortly before his death, Mr. Shamspeare was having a drink of tea. There would be nothing remarkable about that, but what troubles me
is Mr. Natsume's reaction when he heard Mr. Sholm suggest it. There's more to this deduction than it seems.
We must examine the scene of the crime again for some more clues.
Okay. Ow! Another teacup! Who could have foreseen this?
Take that!
Wow. Did the man dine and die alone? This other teacup suggests the answer. Yes, there were 2 teacups in this room all along. Huh. In other words, this is a strong indication that at the victim's last supper, there was a guest present. Yeah, that's a bit wishy-washy. He could have just had 2 teacups. At the very least, we can say now with certainty that somebody else was here in this room last night taking tea with the victim. I wonder who. What are you talking about? I wonder who it was. It could be anyone. Anyone. Utterly, unbelievably, unjustly unreasonable. To draw a conclusion on such meager evidence would be foolish, however, certainly. In which case, what more can we deduce about this possible guest at the table? Well, allow me to lift the veil of doubt, my dear fellow. Do you mean to say you know who exactly was in this room at the time of the victim's death? Indeed. Which reveals that the answer, of course, is the broken lock. I'm not sure I like where this deduction is going now.
I'm afraid it's too late to go back to the halcyon days of eating too much soap.
But the identity of the guest who was in here last night when the victim passed away is something I have a very bad feeling about.
Well, you could try to ignore your feelings, but we cannot
Ignore the truth, Mr. Naruhodo. You tell him. His bloodline needs to know that. No, I suppose not. Time to look around again. Okay. Empty bottle?
It's empty.
Thanks. Empty of liquid, but full of air. Whoa. That's deep. That makes you think, doesn't it? I love Ryunosuke. He's grown on me again. It makes me think that you're full of hot air. We should be thinking about who else was in the room at the time. Father, Suzato-san's quip in response was cleverer than my original riddle. That was cute. Books. Oh, and glasses, too. At first glance, it seems that the only things in this room are the makeshift stage and the costumes. I overlooked these 3 books initially.
I wonder what they are. Let's see. The titles read The Picture of Monsieur Lecoq, Canterbury.
Oh, these are Sasuke's books. I remember these from the last game.
Canterbury Yearnings and A Meal for Gaboriau.
Wait, I'm sure I've heard those titles before.
It could just be an incredible coincidence, but they're the exact same 3 books that Mr. Natsume purchased the other day.
What? Yes, on the day of the unfortunate incident when Miss Green was stabbed. Sasuke-san had just been to a bookshop and bought them. That's right.
And now those 3 titles are here in the room of the victim.
Yet Mr. Natsume claims never to have been here before. What does this mean, do you think?
I really don't know what to make of it.
Pile of familiar books.
Take that!
Oh, Mr. Natsume. Indeed. What reveals the answer, of course, is the pile of familiar books. Quite so. It's no mere coincidence that these 3 titles are here in this room. It's the link to the truth. Mr. Natsume, you purchased these books 4 days ago at a second-hand bookshop. That's just a coincidence. In that case, you'll be able to bring the same 3 titles from your own room, will you not? This very moment. No, never. They're non-negotiable. If you can't bring your own copies here, it proves that these 3 books are in fact yours. Having purchased the books 4 days ago and returned to your lodgings, you were arrested the very next day. So you can conceivably have brought the books here on that evening, but you never mentioned that. In other words, you could only have brought these 3 books here to the victim's room. Last night, having returned to your lodgings after the trial concluded at the Old Bailey. In short, there was only one possible conclusion. The victim died here in his room last night as a result of poisoning. And that same night, the victim had a visitor. And that visitor? Was you, Mr. Sasuke Natsume. I love their little thing they do. It's so cute. Thus concludes the final act of Herlock Sholmes' Great Deduction. Sasuke Natsume at the scene. Elementary. Not again, not again, not again. This is why he didn't want Sholmes here. Not again. Well then, Mr. Natsume. It will appear you're going to have to accompany me down to the yard. Again. But wait. Hold your horses. Yes. Door, key, locked. Entry, exit entirely impossible. He's so flustered, he's being even stranger than normal. What? You think that's an alibi? Could have just made a copy. What? You live in the same building after all. You'd have plenty of opportunities, I'm sure. But misery me! Sorry, sir. You'll get your chance to give your Sata's story later. The facts speak for themselves, Mr. Mustache. You horrible Herlock Sholmes. He really has found himself an arch rival now, hasn't he? Come on now. No dilly-dallying. Outside, there's a carriage waiting. Locum student, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. I never imagined I'd be in this position again, but you have to help me. Please, please, I'm innocent. Alright, I understand. We'll come to your cell later and talk about it. Okay, bye. Bye, buddy. Oh, and one more thing. Oh, yes? My poor little kitty cat. Please give him his breakfast for me. Oh. Oh. I'm sad. And so, his evil curse still apparently unbroken. Sasuke-san found himself once again the prime suspect in a case of murder. Thanks to the incriminating deduction of the great detective. My dear fellow, that honor belongs to you. Aw, thanks, Sholmes. Well, at least that means Inspector Gregson is no longer here. We can examine the crime scene in more detail now.
Yes, that's right. Ah, and of course.
What?
You've forgotten what the inspector mentioned before. It was the landlord, Mr. Garadeb, who discovered Mr. Shamspear.
Mr. John Garadeb, yes. I swear if he ends up being the killer. No, he can't be the killer because he was in the jury after this occurred. So I was gonna say, I'm like, if he ended up being the killer, that'd be crazy. But we know we have to rule him out because he showed up as a jury member in the later in the timeline. Oh, Mr. John Garadeb, yes.
I expect we could find him in his sitting room on the top floor as usual.
Right. We must remember to go and talk to him later then. Okay.
Oh, the poor man. So young to die. Do you suppose it was a very painful death, being poisoned as he was?
I don't know. All we can do now is hope that he'll be reborn to a better life.
Yes, I suppose you're right. I wonder... Do you think that putting our hands together in a Japanese prayer will help a British soul?
Fantastic question. Sorry?
I made sure I had a reference at the ready for just such an occasion as this, actually. This book is entitled The Beginner's Guide to Praying for the Departed, the British Way. I'll just reread it now. One moment.
There's quite a spine on that book, isn't there? Alright, what's this?
What's this?
It looks like part of an envelope, I think.
Yes, I think you might be right. Perhaps it was torn off when the letter was opened.
Is that significant?
Well, it's a little out of place, perhaps, when you look around the room.
I was about to say the letter was poisoned. When he licked it closed. That's how he died. And then I remembered. That's just that's Ace Attorney 4. That happened in Ace Attorney 4.
Well, it's a little out of place, perhaps, when you look around the room. There's no sign of a letter or the rest of the envelope, in fact, is there?
She's right.
And yet, here we have the torn off end of an envelope. It just strikes me as unusual.
I agree. We better take this, just in case. A ripped piece of an envelope that was found in Mr. Shamspear's room. The rest of the envelope cannot be located. I'm sure we'll find it. Alright, teacup.
Oh, one of the teacups that Mr. Shamspear and his guests drank from last night. So don't go drinking from them, Mr. Naruhodo. There's bitter poison inside.
I'm not planning on drinking any, don't worry. Anyway, the cups are both empty.
That's true. So one was Mr. Shamspear's, and the other must be the cup that Mr. Natsume was drinking from.
The Sasuke-san wasn't poisoned, of course. Perhaps we should take these so we can examine them in more detail later. The teacups used by Mr. Shamspear and Mr. Natsume. The one with the green line around the rim was Mr. Natsume's. Okay. That's gonna be important, the color. And here we have another disproportionately large machine. It looks like a meter of some kind.
This is a gas meter, I think. It seems that in this district, residents pay for gas as they use it with coins.
Oh, I see. Yes, so now you've pointed it out. I can see that there's a slot just here that looks like it would take a coin. So you mean if you put a coin in here?
That's right. That would buy you about 2 hours of gas for lights and heating.
So if you were a poor person with no money, you'd have to sleep in the freezing cold?
Yes, or if you were a scatterbrain with no change because you forgot to exchange your money at the bank.
Thank goodness there's no meter in our office.
As we've seen from the outside, the window is completely bricked up. Sorry. A vestige of the former window tax that Britons had to pay.
What strange thing they used to tax in Great Britain. I mean, making people pay for the number of windows they had in a property? It's extraordinary.
It's heartbreaking to think of the poor having to block up their windows just to avoid an unaffordable tax. Oh!
What is it, Miss Cesato?
If you look closely, a number of the bricks are loose.
It's more soap? Oh, yes, it looks as though an amateur has broken out a few of them just here. Was it Mr. Shamspear who did it, I wonder? Being the lodger renting this room?
Oh, look at this, Mr. Naruhodo. On the outside, there's a little ledge. And there's something on it.
What? Outside?
It's so cold outside, you could feel it through this gap.
It did snow all last night. It would be cold. But more importantly, what is it on the ledge out there? What are those snow-covered lumps?
It's more bars of soap.
What's up with all this soap? Soap? What are bars of soap doing lined up on the edge, on a ledge outside the window?
I have no idea. But the pair of them look rather charming like that.
Still, that's very strange, isn't it? Bars of soap lined up outside the window. I think perhaps we should take one. There are two, after all.
Oh dear, I suppose we could? Oh, what's this? Look here at this soap.
It has a bite taken out of it. Ah. Oh.
Do you see in the middle there? There's a patch that's a different color. It's sort of transparent, but
some sort of fancy design, I suppose. Only in Great Britain.
Looks like the Hinomato flag of Japan, doesn't it? How wonderful. It's probably a very expensive brand.
Expensive? Then what's it doing in this ramshackle old room? Okay. A cheap bar of soap that was discovered just outside Mr. Shamspear's window. It's one of two that were found there. Oh, we're done with the investigation? Gregson, maybe? Looks like you're having a good snoop around, eh? Yeah. Inspector Gregson, but back so soon? After I threw that little Japanese fella in the clink, I went and reported this to the investigation division. In 5 minutes' time, this place will be cordoned off by the yard. Oh, I see. Well, we better be leaving then.
Poor Mr. Natsume must be feeling very low, being back in a cell again so soon.
I'm sure we should probably go at... Excuse me? What's wrong, Mr. Naruhodo? You look like you've seen a ghost. Is that why they called this the haunted lodgings case? What the hell? Surprise zombies! What is happening? Out, brief candle. Life's but a walking shadow, a poor player. struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. Broken back to life. Now, how soundeth the next part? It's a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Indeed, oh happy day! What? What happened? Walking Dead! Oh my god, what is this case? I'm loving it. The fella isn't dead at all. You're only surprised now? You were playing along with it just a second ago. What was that nonsense he was saying, though?
I think, yes, it was from William Shakespeare's Macbeth.
Okay, so William Shakespeare still exists. So he's not the replacement for William Shakespeare, like Sherlock Holmes is the replacement for Sherlock Holmes. Got it.
A soliloquy from Act 5, Scene 5.
Shakespeare? So it was. But the victim, Mr. William Shakespeare, came back to life. If the man had indeed been poisoned, it transpired that it hadn't killed him. He was taken by emergency carriage to a nearby hospital for treatment. And Inspector Gregson evicted us from the scene of the crime. Whatever that now was. Okay, there's a guy over there. 21st February, Briar Road.
Whatever do you think will happen now?
Good question. What a strange situation for Mr. Natsme. Arrested for murder, but then the victim comes back to life? His last case, he was arrested for attempted murder too. She never died in the last one.
I think perhaps the victim was never dead in the first place.
Really?
It seems very likely that Mr. Shakespeare did consume poison, as we deduced. But was it an accident, attempted suicide, or attempted murder? Until the truth can be established, I imagine the police will keep Mr. Natsume in custody.
I suppose so. Let's hope it doesn't come to anything more than a night in the cells. Oh, what's this?
There's a peeping Tom.
What's that man doing over there? It looks like he's trying to see into Sosuke-san's lodgings. Weird.
Is something wrong, Mr. Naruhodo?
Excuse me, could we have a word? Oh! There he goes. Fade into nothingness. He just ran off.
I feel sure that I've seen that man somewhere before. Where was it?
I do too, but I don't remember. I don't remember him. A new location has been added. Oh, the Garadeb's room, right. February 21st, the Garadeb's room. Here we are again, the eccentric landlord's eccentric top floor abode.
We're here because Mr. Garadeb's the one who discovered the incident this morning, don't forget.
You chaps, eh? Yes, good morning, sir. Thank you for your cooperation in court yesterday. It was quite a trial. As much for Mr. Garadeb as anyone, really. Came straight back here after all that business at the Bailey yesterday. Didn't expect to wake up to more bolly nonsense this morning.
I wonder if you wouldn't mind telling us exactly what happened, Mr. Garrett.
Yes, I suppose you like to know all about that. Dead loss of an actor chap in the ground floor room. Those were exactly Inspector Gregson's words, weren't they? It must have been a real shock for you this morning. I hear that you discovered what had happened. Well, a hopeless actor chap rises at 5 o'clock sharp every morning without fail. But at 5:30 this morning, he still hadn't lit the gas. So I went down and knocked on his door, but no bolly answered.
And that's when you broke into his room by kicking down the door?
Well, I called on that rum-looking Japanese chap to do the grunt work, of course. Wasn't it a little premature to kick the door down? The man could have just overslept by half an hour.
That's very true, Mr. Naruhodo. If 30 minutes oversleeping warranted such behavior, I'd have to kick your door down every morning.
I've been trying to make the pun for the past 20 minutes, but couldn't think of a good one, so just insert hard to be the bard joke here. Oh, it's so hard to be the bard. Well, you know, better safe than sorry and all that. Is it just me, is we avoiding our gaze now all of a sudden?
Except that it was a sorry situation indeed that you found on the far side of the door.
And the victim's name is Mr. Shamspear, I believe. Is that right? Yes, William Shamspear. I took the ground floor room 3 months ago now.
And how would you describe him?
In a word, destitute.
Destitute?
Well, let's face it, the only redeeming feature of that room is the cheap rent. Anyone wanting to live in a place like that is either broke or has a bolly screw loose. So hard to choose which category Sosuke-san would fall into.
Mr. Naruhodo? That's a little rude.
He's been very rude today. He was doing research as well. Research? Into what? Shakespeare, of course. Shakespeare. I read a few plays of the old bard myself, you know. Romeo and Hamlet and all that. Oh yeah. Romeo and Hamlet. I'd love to watch that play.
Yes, William Shakespeare is England's most highly regarded classical playwright and author. He's known as Sao in Japanese, as you know, and many of his works have already been translated.
It seems incredible that Shakespeare was shortened to Sao, though. Someone was too heavy-handed there. There were a lot of costumes in the victim's room, actually, weren't there?
Of course, Mr. Natsume is a scholar of English literature as well. I imagine that he and Mr. Shamspear would have had much in common.
Shakespeare interpretation disagreement leads to shocking murder. Let's hope it's not that.
Mr. Naruhodo, really, how rude.
After Mr. Natsume's trial yesterday, you came straight back here, I believe, didn't you? Did you notice anything strange between then and this morning? Well, now, it must have been about 6 in the evening by the time I got home. Snow was coming down rather heavily, as I remember, and so it was completely dark already. That failed actor chap was at the time. Mr. Garrett noticed there was no light from his room or something, I suppose. Couldn't summon the energy for anything much, so I just sat in front of the fire up here. It was after 8 before Shamspear got back. And the chap was up until past 1 in the morning, I'll have you know. Suppose he met his end sometime after that. I was asleep by then, so I'm rather in the dark here. There. Well, thank you. That was very illuminating. Is everything alright, Mr. Zato?
Well, I was just thinking. It's a little strange, that's all. Mr. Garadeb, you were up here in your room all evening, if I've understood correctly?
Oh, a big fan of stairs, not with this blasted leg.
Then, how is it that you seem to know? The precise movements of your tenant on the ground floor, I mean.
Good call. He's a stalker. That's a very good point. I can't imagine that you could hear noises from the ground floor all the way up here. Does this old man like to spy on his tenants? Is that it? Oh, I say, I know what you're thinking. It's a bully outrage. I'm ex-military, don't you know? I don't go around spying on my tenants. Why would I?
Then how did you know, Mr. Garadeb?
It's the gas, woman. The gas tells me everything. The gas? The gas, it speaks? What on earth do you mean, sir? How can the gas tell you anything, let alone everything? Well, as you're probably aware, the gas is supplied to the building by pipes. Yes, I'd more or less worked that out.
Every room in the building is connected by a single pipe to the gas main outside. And the gas company supplies gas to properties via the main.
Yes, I understand that too. Let me see if I can explain. Let's say I was to light the gas lamps up here. What do you suppose will happen? Well, obviously, the room would get brighter. Exactly. But at the same time, the lights in all the other rooms of the house would dim for a moment. What? They dim? Why?
Perhaps it's because when you light a gas lamp, it briefly uses more gas than usual. And that reduces the amount of gas in the pipe for the other lamps that are connected to it. That might explain why the other lamps dim momentarily, mightn't it?
Yes, of course. Because everything's connected to a single supply pipe.
Is that supposed to happen, though? It sounds rather undesirable.
Totally good point. Fact is, gas companies' pipes in these parts are pretty hopeless, long worn out. And barely got any gas in them to start with. Opposites are true, of course. Extinguish the lamps up here and they glow bright in the rest of the house. Ah, right, I see. So by watching the flickering of the lamps in one room, you can determine what's happening elsewhere. You've got it.
Oh, of course, because when people come back home in the evening and before they go to sleep at night, what they're guaranteed to do is either light or put out their lamps and fires.
Clever. Important fact, the room on the ground floor and the one above it uses slightly different amounts of gas. By watching the lights in here closely, I can work out almost exactly what's going on in the whole house.
Gosh, that's fascinating, Mr. Garadeb. Absolutely fascinating. And you need more hobbies.
Well, do it really. And I can't really see that it's going to help us with the case either. What I'd like to know is why Mr. Garadeb's so interested in what his tenants are up to in the first place. I feel like there's more to it than just idle curiosity. Well, we've done as much investigating here as we can, I think. That's our sign to move. Perhaps we gotta go to the prison and speak with Mr. Natsume again.
A good idea.
Oops.
Look, Mr. Naruhodo. Mr. Natsume, have the police finished questioning you now?
Locum student, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. Oh, yes? What is he? Tell me. Is he a ghost? Is he here to haunt me? let me guess. You're talking about Mr. Sholmes.
He actually calls himself a great detective, Mr. Natsume, not a ghost.
I don't think he's talking about Mr. Sholmes. But, oh, okay, never mind. He is. but his diabolic deductions, they're not of this world. They've left me. Oh, cursed! I'm cursed, I tell you. Well, that sort of hurts.
Credit where credit is due, Mr. Naruhodo. You were heavily involved in the deduction too. This is all your fault.
Yes, moving on. We have some wonderful news. Oh.
The victim that we all thought was dead has come back to life again.
Yeah. Now, in the absolutely worst case, you could only be tried for attempted murder. Yeah! Isn't that fun? Isn't that fun, Mr. Natsume? Only attempted murder again. You remember, like, your last trial? That's great, isn't it, Mr. Natsume? Isn't this cool, Mr. Natsume? Only attempted murder you did. It's terrible!
Oh!
I'm stuck in this cell, suffering for some silly wrong end of the stick. You did it, didn't you? Confess, you're a killer. Why the mustache? Constant questions. I'm sorry to hear that. Oh, that selfish shyster. Make up your mind. Are you dead or alive? If you were coming back to come back to life, why bother dying? Wickedly wishy-washy William. Well, it seems likely that Mr. Shamspear was never actually dead in the first place. Oh, yes, that might make sense, and I'm pleased that he's alive, of course. Our lively debate last night was much fun. I like to think it was, and be sad to think it was our last.
Oh!
Oops. Mr. Natsume, does this mean that you did see the victim last night? You met with Mr. Shamspear, didn't you? I'm not saying another word. I demand to have a lawyer present. Hi, it's me. Locum student, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. Who do you think I am? Please, Mr. Natsume, we need to hear your side of the story. Why am I cursed like this? Can you tell us exactly what happened last night then, Mr. Natsume? There's nothing to tell. But, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire, I'm eternally grateful to you for helping me with that accursed case yesterday. The case that saw poor Miss Green hospitalized after she ended up with a knife in her back. I wonder what about this case is going to freak everyone out, because it freaked Herlock Sholmes out. It freaked Professor Bikatoba out so much that he called Susanoo back to Japan. So I wonder what it is.
It's hard to believe that was only yesterday.
After the trial was over, I trudged my weary way back to my lowly lodgings. And that evening, at past 9 it must have been, I visited Mr. Shamspear. So you did go to the victim's room then?
As we feared.
I didn't do anything wrong. I'd never been to his room before. It was the first time. Then what made you decide to go? I bumped into him when I arrived back at the house. We got chatting and it developed into a discussion. But he had to go out, so I bade him farewell. That ties in with what Mr. Garrett said, that the victim went out and came back after 8. We met again later that evening at around 9, or just after, when I took him some nice tea I'd brewed as a gift. Aw. So it was you who brought the tea that had clearly been drunk at the scene then?
And I suppose you were discussing the works of Shakespeare, were you?
Yes, that's right. That's exactly right. Romeo and Juliet. Who was the stronger? It was a delightful debate.
I'm sure.
Such a stimulating subject, Shakespeare. And the debate became very heated, so you slipped poison into Mr. Shakespeare's tea. No, never, not at all. Team Juliet won. That was me. And when I left his room, the flamboyant fellow was fighting fit. I swear it, categorically. Mr. Natsume, you often say the same thing about yourself, I've noticed. That you have a cursed existence. I'm sure I've mentioned this to you before, but I've been here in Great Britain for a year now, and in that time I've learned that it's no place for me.
It can be very trying to live in a foreign land and adapt to the ways of another culture.
There are foreigners everywhere I look, and they all stare at me, they all laugh. That's the impression I get whenever I go out. It makes me scared to leave my room. Aww. Which is why I become a recluse. But even in my room, I find no respite from my fears. I've moved more times than I can remember. And then 1 week ago, I moved into Briar Road. But why? I mean, why did you choose that place? It doesn't seem very comfortable. Because the rent is cheap. I have so little money, it spoke to me.
The rent?
Obviously, there's a reason why it's cheap, because the room is cursed. Cursed? Cursed how? The previous occupant, the man who lived there before I took the room, died there.
Oh no!
He was only a young man, but one morning he was found dead and no one could explain why. Surely no one wanted to live a room with a history like that. I didn't. When the letting agent recommended the place, I wavered. But I want books, and books cost money. A horrible history is a small price to pay. When I realized it would mean I could buy more books, I signed the lease like lightning. Brave or blinkered? But after I moved in, I soon came to realize what I'd done. I realized how horrible that room's history really was.
Gosh, was it really so awful? How did the room's horrible history affect you, Mr. Natsume? What happened?
At first, it was just the feeling of beady eyes boring into my back watching me. Do you think that might have just been in your mind playing tricks on you? No, my mind doesn't know any tricks. It was someone else. It's been one long nightmare ever since I was given the keys to the place. A nightmare? You been having bad dreams, you mean? All the souls who died in that room that leaned over me in my sleep and tried to strangle me. That really is horrible. And now I come to think of it, it happened again last night too. The very same night that Mr. Shakespeare was writhing in agony from the poison in his body. I was on the verge of being suffocated silently by those miserable spirits in my room.
You simply must move out of that room as soon as possible.
Yes, you're right. I know it, and that's why. I'm already searching for the next room with a history to call home.
I think perhaps you should try to avoid accommodation with any kind of history at all. Otherwise, I'm scared that you yourself may become history.
Whew, Suzada-san knows how to make the man listen. Of course. Mr. Lord of the Manor is worried about the curse on my room as well. You mean Mr. Garadeb? Yes, he knows that if people keep dying there, he'll never be able to rent it out again. Well, that's true. I, for one, wouldn't go near the place.
Ah, perhaps that may explain why the landlord pays so much attention to the gas lamps in his tenants' movements.
You mean because he's worried about their well-being? He does seem to have an unusually keen interest in the amount of gas in the pipes. Must be a reason why he keeps such close tabs on the occupants of his let rooms. What do you mean he pays so much attention to the gas lamps?
Oh dear, no, it's nothing to do with you, Mr. Natsume. Please forget I said anything.
Oh, now you're talking about me behind my back as well. What's important is that Mr. Shamspear isn't in fact dead at all. Once he's come around, he's able to tell us what happened, we'll be able to get you released. Yes, please. Oh, I do hope you're right. Excuse me. Gregson? Yep.
Inspector Griggs.
Oh, Inspector Grayson. Oh, couldn't help overhearing what you just said, and on that note, I have some good news and some bad news. Oh, which do you want first? Always, every time, the bad news comes first. When hope is all you have, hold on to it. That's my guiding principle. Right, well, in that case, good news it is. Huh? Sorry, but it's just a lot easier to explain everything that way. And why did you ask me my preference? Well, as you might have heard, the victim, Mr. Shakespeare, is just unconscious. He's come round now. Yes, we saw it happen in all its terrifying glory. He's still being treated by the doctors, but we managed to get a written statement from him already.
Oh, isn't that wonderful, Mr. Natsume?
He says you did it. Oh, thank goodness, it's all over then. I can leave this somber cell. Yeah, sorry, no, that's not on the cards. What?
Why, you're not, Inspector.
Mr. Shakespeare's implicated someone as being responsible for what happened last night. Implicated someone?
Oh dear.
You don't mean... I'm sorry to say, I do, yes. He's pointing the finger at you, Mr. Natsume. What sweet poison did he seeketh to end my life? That wickedest caitiff, Sasuke Natsume. No.
No.
Oh, so I'm afraid you'll be reappearing in court as planned. We'll be wanting to make the necessary preparations. No! And so, once again, Sosuke-san found himself having to take the dock in the Old Bailey. Whether his room was haunted or whether he was just terribly unlucky, I knew I had no choice. The following day, I would represent him in court and do my utmost to break the curse that blighted him. Oh. To be continued. Well, well, well. The Memoirs of the Clouded Kokoro. Trial part 1. Right into the trial. Well, my friends. Thank you so much for joining me on stream today. Let's find someone to raid. How about you? Sure. I like raiding new people. Thank you guys for joining me. It's been so much fun. I'll be back again Sunday or Monday night, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, Van Zeke's next time. He's back. Very exciting. So I'll be back around probably 6 o'clock, either Sunday night or Monday night. So very excited to continue see Van Zeke's. And yeah, that is it. And I'll see you guys later. Sending you off in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bye bye.